Warning. Before you continue to watch this video, understand that you are endangering yourself if you are intending to use this for playful purposes. This is meant to be used for freedom, not enslavement. Many have heard of the New World Order, and it is known to be connected with the Illuminati, whereas others refuse to accept that this is actually the works of Freemasonry. Many organizations in the black community are actually Freemasonic orders, such as the Nation of Islam, the Moorish Science Temple, the Nuwaubian Nation, the Otep Egyptologist, Folk and People Nation, alongside many others that came out of these organizations are also Freemasons. Since Freemasonry is a parasitic organization, we will have to go in many different areas of our social makeup to explain how it actually works. I will mainly be staying inside the realm of Islam and Egyptology for now, due to the fact that that is the two main tentacles that attack the black community. Freemasonry utilizes the belief of Islam, and/or Egypt, to gain members by discrediting the Bible while finding ways to use it to make one credible, because like I have said time and time again, Freemasonry is a parasitic movement. Freemasonry expresses itself through perverted symbolism. Now these perversion goes into many different directions, not just the sexual implications but the deceitful acts of exposing an old lie with new ones. On this episode I will take the time to explain the Masonic grip or handshake with the devil or the snake. We will look at the entered apprentice down to the past master grip, and how it symbolizes the greeting of two snakes. And this is why when you go to a lodge you are asked from whence thou come, which comes from a reference in the book of Job, and the Lord said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord, and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. God asked a snake this before sending him out to cause havoc. Now that I have your attention, let's take a close look at this grip. Whenever there's talk of somebody being a Freemason, they always point out how they are holding hands, and you need to look because that means that something is going on, but nobody ever explains what are you looking at and what are you looking out for. So here let me explain. If you look closely you will notice that they are always pressing up onto the knuckle. Now each knuckle is a level or a degree that one were on in Freemasonry. Now with that being said, when you rub your thumb from the top knuckle to the third knuckle and back, that symbolizes that one is a traveling man and the knuckles represents a rough and rugged road. Now that might not seem like a lot, but then as we go to the next degrees and you look closely you gain a greater understanding that this is actually the greeting of two snakes. Diagram 1 is the Master Mason grip, or better known as the lion's paw, but in actuality these are two snakes going from swallowing each other up to greeting each other. Now in diagram 2 we see the intertwining of two snakes wrapped inside one another and forming a unity of deceit and destruction. Now in diagram 3 we have the past master grip, which is the ending of the handshake. If you look closely you will notice 1. That the thumbs are the two heads of the snakes meeting. 2. The 3 fingers is the curling of the body, and 3. The pinkies forms the tails in which they are uniting with each other. Once again, many people will notice that the past master grip on its own as the pinky swear. If you perform these so-called individual handshakes with one swift motion you will notice that this is a full greeting of snakes. Now when you enter the lodge, and for this we'll say the lodge represents the snake pit, because the lodge represents many different things, such as the vagina and the beehive for example, but for this we will stick to the snake pit. If you ever engage in a conversation with an Egyptologist, you will quickly notice that they will find ways to make the snake a good and benevolent creature. But if you notice they are making it in reference to the Bible, in which the snake convinced Eve to eat the fruit of knowledge of good and evil, and because of that it has gotten a bad reputation. I will end this episode with saying, before you think you have a full understanding of the devil and his helpers, think again. because this is just the tip of an excessively big iceberg. Just by watching this video, you have been given a key to free your mind, as well as the ability to free others. Or you can willingly walk into that pit called a lodge, with hopes of greatness from robbing, raping and murdering others, but remember, you are just a worker bee, and that makes you expendable.